Hey guys, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil, doing a little instant reaction to number 2 Michigan losing on the road to Wisconsin today, this afternoon, if you will. And there's a few thoughts on it. First, total props to Wisconsin. The fans, they got up, they got loud, an 11 a.m. start for them, and their crowd was a big-time factor. Good props to them. Also, Wisconsin played one outstanding game. I can't take anything away from them. Please don't think I'm taking away from them, because I'm going to focus on Michigan and where Michigan failed to execute well. But props to Wisconsin for a great game. Hap played outstanding, a double-double, 26 points, 10 rebounds. Hap was just outstanding for them, and you can tell why he's NBA draft pick. Now, speaking on Michigan, they just shot themselves in the foot way too much. Wisconsin forced turnovers, but Michigan was maybe being sped up by Wisconsin, was trying to push the tempo too much, and they were just trying to get way too many transition baskets. Give credit to Wisconsin because they were playing good half-court defense, so Michigan was trying to get any points quickly that they could. Michigan had 16 turnovers based on the scorebook that I saw. And, that's just obviously way too many. Michigan averages, I think, 9 a game. And so that's 9 a game versus 16. 7 more than their average. And kudos to Wisconsin. I knew Wisconsin was going to be a tough game. Based on the Kim Palm rankings, Wisconsin was the second toughest game Michigan was going to play the rest of the year, only behind number 1 at Michigan State. So I knew this was going to be a big test for them, and you kind of could see what happened to this younger team. You had, the seniors, some of them showed up and others just wilted for whatever reason. Give Wisconsin credit. Matthews had 5 points. Bradakis, Iggy, I'll just call him Iggy, I'm probably saying his last name wrong. Iggy had 0 points. Oh, man. He was 0 for 3 on 3-pointers. He missed 2 other shots. They tried to get him going in the start of the second half. He just had 2 turnovers, back-to-back turnovers. Iggy was just off his game. Maybe he was just worried about helping on Hap, but, it is what it is. 5 points out of 2 players that normally would average 25 to 30 points a game this season. So Wisconsin really did a good job of limiting them. You had Poole, Simpson, and Teskey who were carrying the offense. And honestly, probably through the first 5 minutes of the second half, Michigan was looking pretty good. They were up by 4, then 2, 4, then 2. They were holding on. And all of a sudden, Jordan Poole, I don't know what happened. He just kind of went crazy and started trying to do all these crazy shots, running floaters and passes that made no sense and were easily, takeaways and turnovers. It's what was happening? I don't know if Simpson just needed a breather. I don't have the game on DVR. I can't go back and look and see where Simpson was, but Poole just seemed to be playing with a hot potato. I don't know if he was trying to do too much being back home. I think he's originally from Milwaukee area, so kind of back home to Wisconsin. Was he trying to do too much? I don't know. He seemed to be the best offense Michigan had, and then he dried up. And then that's kind of where Michigan just lost any rhythm. Probably the last 15 minutes of the game, Michigan just looked terrible on offense. Just pathetic. I don't understand why Michigan didn't just start trying to drive the ball and just force the refs to call fouls. Maybe they were trying and the refs didn't call them. The refs, I'm not blaming the refs, but the refs were kind of up and down. Some calls, there were just ticky-tacky fouls were called, and other ones were Matthews just shoved the guy, wasn't called. It's so the refs, we're just human, right? It's not the refs. Now, Michigan's just got to move on. Did I think Michigan was going to go undefeated? Of course not. This is the Big Ten. It is very difficult to win on the road in the Big Ten. It's too bad that Michigan has lost this game. You're really hoping they could beat an unranked Wisconsin team, but they lost. And you know what? That is what it is. Now they got to move on. They got to learn from this. I mean, what are we going to do next time Matthews or Iggy are having off games? we didn't have enough answers. I have to say, Beeline gets a good chunk of this blame because he did not call up plays that looked very executed. They weren't good plays out of timeouts, and Beeline gets a chunk of this blame too. Players didn't have a good game. Coach didn't have a good game. Yeah, it's a loss. Don't make a molehill a huge hill. Let's change that. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Maybe that one makes sense. I don't know. Because you know what? It's one loss. They're 17-1. Move on from that. They got a game home versus Minnesota, I think on Monday or Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. And hopefully they can get some shots going a little bit more and see how that goes. I was wondering when this would kind of come into play. 5 of 11 on free throws. The game was tight. It was a 4-point game, and maybe I think it was down to a 3-point game, and the refs called an intentional foul on Hap. And they didn't call the first one where Iggy hit him. They called the second one, and then they called an intentional foul, a flagrant foul. They called it flagrant. And they got 2 free throws. Hap hit 1, and then the ball. And that was kind of just the game. Then Michigan just kind of got totally crazy, sloppy, and turnover, trying to just move the ball quickly, but then they lost by 10. But I just really wonder if Beeline went insane for him at that call there. That they called an intentional foul, a flagrant foul. I mean, I don't think the NCAA has a hack-a-shack rule against them or anything where, you can't do certain things under 2 minutes or anything. So I was just really would like to look into that. I don't know if there'll be any press release explaining. I'm not saying that call cost us the game. No, the turnovers that Wisconsin forced cost us the game. But I'm just wondering, what is that call? You're fouling this guy. So now anytime you're fouling a person who doesn't have the ball, it's an intentional foul? Is there plenty of times during the game where, people are running screens and such, and, you grab them. Well, is that an intentional foul now? So I just think that's a really weak call. I want to know what the NCAA is going to do about that, because that seems, if that's a new rule, that's going to be interesting, especially at ends of games where you're intentionally fouling someone to stop the clock. Is that an intentional foul? It wasn't a flagrant foul. We didn't hack Hap. It was just called intentional foul. So just wondering what that's going to be like. Now, Michigan, overall, you win the games you deserve to win. Wisconsin deserved and earned this win. Like I said, move on. You need better games from Matthews, Iggy. When you only have 7 deep, really, when you have 2 of your starters just worthless games, it's really hard to win. Credit to Wisconsin. Side little note. Me and my brother were talking during this game, and it's like, is it Dan Dockich? I despise Dick Vitale, but is Dan Dockich just as annoying? He has to break down every single play. Well, this should have been this way, and this should have been that way. And, come on! It's shut up. Shut up, Dan Dockich. Just enjoy the basketball game. Say things that are relevant. You might understand the game far more than me. Fine. You don't have to prove it on every single possession of the game. So, narrow your little talking. Man, you have an annoying voice. Ugh. Hey, just my 2 cents, guys. Michigan marches on. We continue on through the Big Ten season, see how it goes. We'll see if Michigan plays better at home next week versus Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota. Sorry if I got the wrong game. Hey, thanks to the new subscribers. I appreciate it. And I always like your comments. I actually had someone write to me and ask, are you going to do an instant reaction to this game? I'm like, yeah, I am. I was going to work on it as soon as my kids woke up from their naps. Because, I don't want to, like I said, last show or so, that I got a new baby girl up there. So it's like, yeah. Oh, one other thing. A lot of people have made comments about my wonderful wood paneling I have down here. Yeah, it could use an update, no doubt about that. I was even joking with one guy that maybe I should start a GoFundMe page for some better, whatever, wall decoration and stuff. Hey, appreciate all the comments you guys send me. It's fun. I just like talking sports. Hey, thanks for watching. As always, I'll catch you the next time, and go Blue!